Happy Monday, March 29th, 2021. And it's 11:11. Now it's 11:12, but it was 11:11 when I started. Sometimes it just sort of get in there. So I'm making hot water with lemon, and that's why the ocean sound is there. The cricket sound is here, and it's a party. It's a party day because it's Monday. Just saw something new on, I guess there's something on Zoom that you can go Facebook Workplace. I didn't want to press the button. I don't know if you guys are working or not. But how fun was last night? How totally cool was last night? I loved it. Sunday nights, I have a show called Musicians Square Table. I say square circle sometimes, and I don't know why. Reset. Musicians Square Table. And last night, my guest was Phil Grenadier, trumpet extraordinaire, teacher, player, bomb shit, vinyl collector. Did you see that vinyl? Anyway, today is Monday. And for those of you that don't know who I am, let me just see who's here. I do know who you are. Oh, wait. Nope. Hey, Kevin Kuhn. Good morning. Hi there, sir. When are you coming back to hang out with us? I know you're teaching. Julie Luce, Patty. Hi there. How's the book? What's going on? Editing, right? Editing in the time of COVID. Good morning, William. So you four know what it is, but I'll just say it anyway. I'm here every day at 11:11 a.m. and 11:11 p.m. And my name is Jenna Mammina, and the show is called 11:11 with Jenna. And I have guests on. I hang out. On Monday mornings, we meander. Sort of hanging out. People show up. Julie, there's your bowl. There are my pretty flowers. Lillian's purple coat. We have matching purple coats. Just sort of happened. I bought her purple coat, and then I was in Goodwill, and there was a purple coat that kind of looked like hers, kind of a lot. So we have matching purple coats. Anyway, on Monday mornings, I meander. On Monday nights, we do a meditation. I sing a meditation. We just kind of, chill for a little while. Hi, Patty. Hi, Julie. And then Tuesday mornings, I make a smoothie. And Tuesday night, my friend Dr. Andrew Rader has been here, and hopefully he'll continue till whenever he doesn't want to anymore. Wednesday mornings are so much fun with my friend Patty Lohman in the house, in the kitchen. We have a blast. And this week we're making lemon bars. But neither one of us have talked about a recipe yet. Does your cousin have a recipe? My mom has one. I should look up my mom's recipe. Good morning, Rob Morocco. Hey, speaking of sharing, I love it when you share this show. But if you happen to see the music video that I posted the other day, not the live one, but the second one where it's just me holding on to a book that was about to fall on the ground. If you could share that, I would be so happy. Happier. Speaking of happy, okay, let's see. Wednesday morning, we bake. Wednesday night this week, special guest, super special guest, Stephanie Morocco is going to be in the house. We're going to learn some stuff, and we know what's in her refrigerator. There goes my brush. I had a brush sitting right there, and I kicked it. So Stephanie's going to be on, and I'm excited about that. That's going to be super fun. Oh, I have new jeans on. I got new Levi jeans. I got them in the mail. I've never ordered a pair of pants online before. Oh, you just started editing. Long and winding road. And then Thursday morning, we sort of take a chill. And Thursday, it is musicians. Well, it's not musicians, it's conversations with the creatives. So it's anyone that's creative. And this week's going to be a super fun special show. And then Friday morning, Armando, we talk cake and cookies and pies and chocolates and have talked ice cream. And we'll be talking lemon bars this week. And then Friday night, display and share. If it's anything like last week's display and share, bomb shit. Bomb shit. I could have Ricky on every week and he could show us different stuff. It's true. Saturday mornings, one more Saturday morning with with Jeff Metzger. Saturday night, one more Saturday night with Gary Lambert. Sunday mornings, I kind of smooth into the Sunday, and then we're back to Musician Square Table, and then we're at Monday Meandering, and that's where we are now. So, what are you drinking? What are you eating? What have you had? Have you done the stoked oats, Mr. Morocco? So yes, if you could share that video, I know Patty did. Thank you very much. And I posted it on my fan page also, and ended up, this woman messaged me and she said, I don't know if you remember me, but I did, because she messaged me before, and I met her at Nick's Fish Market in Chicago near O'Hare Airport. Like, I think it's close to 20 years now. 17, something like that. I was with my friend Roxanne. Great minds, Julie Luce. So yeah, she's doing something groovy. Anyway, she saw the post on my fan page and then contacted me last night and ordered a couple of CDs. And now I'm going to have her on the show. That's how it works. Stoked oats and a cup of Java. I have my hot water lemon right here. And sometimes it's just hot. Oh, I should say my self-edit is done now in the hands of development editor. See, you need to come back on the show and tell us this. Developmental editor. Interesting. I've been kind of slowly looking at it. I was sent some information, thank you, Stephanie and Rob, about where you do books on tape, but you are the, what am I trying to say? I'm going to look into reading books for different authors. It's not on tape, it's here. I like tape. I still have a cassette player in my car, but you know that. So excited to see my car. So yes, Kevin, when can you come back? You're a creator, but I know that's late at night for you, and you're teaching on Thursdays now. But I can squeeze you in if there are any available times for you. Let us know. Mama Grace in the house. William, so how far along have you voice acting? Yes, Kevin. Do you want to come on now? Do you have time to pop on for a couple of minutes? Kevin? All I hear are crickets and trash man. If you feel like jumping on, I would love to say hello. Inquiring minds. Sure. Do you still have the Zoom link? It's the same link. Do you want me to resend it to you? I'll wait. See what he says. I'll grab it just in case. No, I won't, because my phone's not. being cooperative. Do you need it? I'm gonna grab it. Oh, I have to do one other thing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Katie, my sister. Happy birthday to you. Up in Lakeport, California, up in Lakeport. I'm here to say, hey, happy birthday, Katie. Katie, happy birthday. I hope you have the best day. I hope you ride a horse or three. I hope that you and Lisa have a real hat party. I love you. I'm sending it now, Kevin, just in case. I'm sending it in Messenger. And I'm back on Facebook. I just sent it to you in Messenger. Hey, Rob Morocco's watching. What's up with that? Just don't get it. But that's cool. Just means I know you're watching, and that's nice. Carol, are you here? Hello, hello, hello. Oh, it's almost warm enough to. So I see there are 8 of you here, but I don't know who all 8 of you are, but next. So where are you in that process, William D. Lindemann? What month? Can you believe it? It's almost April 2021. April 25th will be the anniversary with Gary Lambert. Ah, ladies and gentlemen. Hi. Kevin Kuhn in the house. There you go. Shoveling snow. Unmute thyself, sir.
I had to run and get a hat.
You've gotten a little
scruffier.
Yeah, I like it. That's cool. Have you had a haircut?
I need one. I'm gonna get one today, actually.
I like the hat. It's good. Is your hair does it get thick and wild?
It's just kind of crazy this morning.
Fun. How are you?
I'm great. Things are good.
Tell us about what's happening with the book. So development.
Oh, yeah. So first draft is done. I did a self-edit, went all the way through it. So now it's in the hands of, a developmental editor. And that's somebody who's good at, big picture stuff, the arc of the story, and are all the characters developed, and are they all, are any of them more two-dimensional? And they also look at things like cultural sensitivity, things like that. So.
And then is it really that? How much does it change?
A lot. I mean, you have to remember.
Does it feel rewritten to you in any way?
Well, I rewrite it. They only tell me what's wrong, which is kind of annoying.
I see. So they don't actually go in and do it. They suggest. They highly suggest.
Right. They go all through and point out the issues and problems and things, and then I go through and do. So the last time I did that, well, not the last time, with Do You Realize? It was I want to say 7 months for me to rewrite after the developmental edit.
Really?
Yeah, it's really the hardest part. It takes a ton of mental energy because, you're kind of already bought into everything. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And
Oh,
so
yeah,
like,
that would be really, that's challenging.
yeah, so
That's
it's a
like
ton of
going and
mental
making
energy.
a record. I mean, I've made demos. I have a challenge rewriting songs
Yeah,
because once it's there and then
yeah.
someone goes, but if you go up here and you do this, I'm like,
You get attached to it, and yeah,
so
yeah,
the ego is removed in the developmental edit.
that's right.
And then you go back and work on that.
Then when I'm done with after the developmental edit, it goes to a copy editor, and they are looking and see. I'm not an English major, right? I didn't spend my college years and my life in literature, and so I need a lot of help. The only good thing is I'm smart enough to know that I need a lot of help. So a lot of authors maybe go through one edit or maybe two. I've been going through three edits. So I go through a developmental edit, and I go through a copy edit, which is more like paragraph, sentence structure, um, tense. Every now and then I have tense issues or active passive or all. There's a lot of high level stuff. So then I get back this again, and that one tends to look like, your English lit paper from Mrs. Stover, in high school, that is just like red marks everywhere.
Is there, so it's actually red marks that
Well, it's we do. I happen to use Microsoft Word, so there's a markup feature in Microsoft Word where they go through and they can add little bubble paragraphs that explain, what the issue is and everything. So again, after the copy edit, I go, they are just basically pointing out all the issues. I go back through and do another rewrite. That one's a little more easier because it's more specifics. It's fairly,
it's
they're
mechanical in a way.
explain what's wrong. You've written this in the wrong tense, or there's a, um, you know, this chapter is from this character's perspective, and all of a sudden you've jumped over to this other character's perspective. So they fix all. So that's a little easier to do. And then the third edit I do is a proof edit, and then they're going through looking for basically grammar issues, things like,
Oh, so that second edit wouldn't be grammatical.
they might, catch some grammar, but really the details of, missing a comma or grammar, or, like a double word or something like that. That's the final proof edit typically.
Interesting. And so after the second edit, when you send it out for the second edit, how long does that usually take?
I think that took me like, with that first book, it took me like a month and a half.
So you're looking at a year.
Yeah. My goal is to have this book out by next St. Patrick's Day. And I don't know if I'll make that. Because then there's also, then after the editing's done, there's internal design where they go through and, I don't know, do the page layouts and basically, make it look a little more appealing in terms of some little graphics and things ending on the right pages and all that sort of thing. And then there's a cover design, right, to design the cover, and the front matter and back matter, they call it.
Do you choose that?
Yeah, I usually and so we'll see. The artist I've used the last couple books would give me like three options. They basically rough up three options, and I'd pick one, and then they'd work from that.
Do they read the book first?
I don't think so. I give them like a detailed synopsis, so I don't think they necessarily read the whole book. But I might. I don't know. We'll see. I've made friends with a gentleman in Canada who's a fantastic artist that has done some of Stephen King's covers.
Really?
Yeah, and he's so I might use him depending on.
Is he a fan of your
cost.
your work? Is that how you met him?
No, we're on a Facebook group together. And we've just chatted back and forth, and um, so we'll see. I got to know him kind of. He's kind of. I got to know him before he did the first cover for Stephen King. So now I don't know. He might be too famous, too expensive for me by now. I don't know.
I don't know. I think this year kind of leveled a lot of people as far as where they're at and what they're.
Yeah, I mean,
people are more accessible.
Yeah,
people realize that. Wow, this was just like.
We'll see. That would be cool to have somebody who's done Stephen King's books. So
yeah. So you're going to get her hair cut.
Yeah.
Will you have lunch before, after?
No, I don't know. I haven't been eating out a lot, but we've got plenty of leftovers.
Yeah. What kind of leftovers? What's your refrigerator like right now? I would ask you to take us to the fridge right now, but you're on.
Well, my wife had a really bad migraine the other day, so one of our friends brought us over a bunch of Chinese food. So we still have some of that in the fridge.
I'm sorry. I get them also.
She had it was literally like a day and a half.
Yeah.
It was really tough. Yeah.
And then the next day of recovery.
Yeah. So she's better now, but it was maybe the worst one she's had. So that wasn't fun. But
no.
I don't know what else we've got in there. I'm not sure.
So in your kids,
a big spinach salad we had the other night.
Ooh,
really good.
I think I'm going to have that today.
Yeah.
What about your kids? What's happening?
So my oldest just turned 25.
Wow.
We had him over last week to celebrate. So it's hard to believe.
Wow.
But he's doing great. Working, gonna living his life. And then my 21-year-old, my daughter, is trying to get through her last couple months of college at the University of Minnesota. She's a fantastic student, but the challenge now is she's working part-time. She's a nursing student, so she'll be getting her RN at the end of this. And she's working part-time at a hospital, plus she does clinicals. And unfortunately, the clinicals they assigned her are with a nurse that she works with that has the overnight shift. So
Wow. So she's doing overnight shifts and she's in school.
And she has another part-time job because the clinicals don't pay any money, right? So her schedule's just crazy, and her sleep schedule is crazy. So it'll be nice when she gets this done.
That always kind of makes me a little unnerved in a way, because if you're in a hospital and your nurse is on a whole other wacky schedule and she's exhausted, you can make mistakes.
Yeah, I think the medical community, they push nurses super hard, but also internists, they just do.
I did 3 24-hour. I don't want you working on,
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I agree. I think they should rethink that. But she has good stories when she comes home.
I'm sure. How close is she to you?
Oh, they use just 25 minutes from her house.
And is that where you teach?
Yeah, that's where I teach. Although I'm teaching from home now.
You're pretty much staying put except for getting your hair done?
Yeah, for the most part. Although I've had my first vaccine and I have my second one in a week and a half. So I'll be a little more adventurous then, I think. So
I don't know. I'm staying. I'm watching the variants right now, and Michigan actually has its own variant, and Michigan and California are surging right now.
Yeah.
As Michigan, New Orleans, Louisiana is the best place I've read for vaccines. They're taking it down to 16-year-olds this week, starting today, I think. But
Minnesota too.
is it to
Yeah.
16?
Yeah. Well, it was really confusing because the written stuff says 16 and up if you have a qualifying medical condition.
Okay.
But then our governor came on the other day and he made it sound like 16 and up, if you want a vaccine, go sign up, so it's not clear to me, but
then in California, I've had friends that are trying to sign up and there aren't any vaccines.
Yeah, you really have to be proactive. There's great Facebook sites in every state that basically tell you like how to, where to go. You have to, I think you really have to be proactive. I mean, you have to meet the qualifications in your state, but once you do, you got to go find it. I don't recommend waiting for a call because that part of it's not working well, I think, nationwide.
No.
But if people are proactive, you can find the, like I when I became eligible, I signed up. We have a state website, that they're supposed to call you when. And after I just waited for a little bit, and then people were like, "Have you got yours yet?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Go get." So I went on a Facebook group that about Minnesota and vaccines, and they're like, CVS has tons of openings. So I went and looked. My CVS right down the road, they had tons of appointments open, and I just had to sign up, and I was in 2 days later. Nobody's calling. You know what I mean?
They're not making it easy for you.
They're not making it easy. You got to go find them. You got to go get them.
So Rob, you mean the new upgrade? Like if I were to update we're talking computers for a second. Speaking of virus, Apple users upgrade software to the 14.4.2. You mean upgrading it is a big security risk? Should I not update? I think I automatically do, but you're not an Apple guy, are you?
I'm not.
But can you be if you wanted to be? Because you're so technological that way.
I'm more these days. I'm more big picture technical savvy as opposed to version numbers and things like that. So I haven't read anything about the latest Apple upgrade. I'm curious as well because my wife and kids all have Apples. Whether that's whether he's saying you want to upgrade to that or you don't want to upgrade to that.
Hey Rob, do you want to jump on? Or he's probably in the middle of he's like talks to 10 other people while he's watching the show at the same time. But yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and look at my laptop for a while until I find out what I do next. Do I press this button and go, oh wow, it worked. Incredible.
But we'll see on the variants. I mean, what I've read most recently is that the vaccines help even with the variants. They're not as effective.
They're not as effective, but there are variants now that aren't, the treatments are not effective.
Okay. But it still sounds like and again, who knows, like it's going to keep mutating, but it still sounds like if you've had the vaccine, you're less likely to be seriously ill even from a variant. So you may get it, but it will most likely, be more like, cold symptoms or whatever than it will be hospitalization. But I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to my.
I don't. Well, I listen to doctors and I hear different stuff. iPhone, iPad, no must update. Our corporation had a hard stop to allow everyone to update.
Oh, you took it.
I don't know about my. So, yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your book? Julie's asking.
Yeah. So it starts in the late 1800s in a bar in downtown Minneapolis. This character named Willie has migrated to the U.S. from Ireland, and he comes to Minnesota because Minnesota at that time was had opened up all these huge flour mills and was kind of booming because it sits on the Minneapolis sits on the Mississippi, and it's a great, there's railroads then going across the country and the Mississippi going down the country, so it was just a great place to kind of produce flour. And it was the #1 flour producer in the world. So anyways, Willie decides that's the place he wants to open a pub because, it's popular and hot, and, figured all the workers there would need a drink. So he opens this pub, and you meet some of the millers that are, because in the late 1800s, women weren't allowed in bars, weren't allowed in pubs. So there's all these men. Yeah. If there was a woman in there, she was most likely a woman of ill repute. So anyways.
Or she owned the bar.
What's that?
She might have owned the bar.
Yeah, maybe. So anyways, the first part ends with, we in Minnesota, we actually had this disaster in the late 1890s called the Great Mill Explosion, where one of the largest mills, it had so much flour dust in time, the gears on the mill sparked, and it ignited the flour dust, and it basically the entire building exploded in a giant fireball. So that's the end of the opening. Then it jumps forward to right before the Great Depression, and it's also Prohibition. So
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Willie, the owner of the pub, is trying to keep the pub afloat. He's converted his upstairs apartment into like a small speakeasy, so he can sell his bathtub gin and
I don't know anything about what you're talking about.
Sorry?
I know nothing about what you're talking about. My grandfather had a bar pre and post Prohibition. I don't know anything about what happened in between.
Sure. So he's trying to, and meanwhile, there actually was some organized crime in Minnesota at that time, like Chicago. So it kind of touches on a little bit of the organized crime and, this bar owner trying to keep his bar afloat during Prohibition. And then there also starts to be a rumor that this bar owner is immortal because he really hasn't changed, so there's some people that start to pay attention to him and try to figure out who he is and, that sort of thing. And then it jumps forward to the 1970s, early 1970s, and same bar, and basically somebody tries to abduct Willie, the owner.
You don't tell us anymore.
That's it? Stop there?
Yeah, I want to read it.
Anyways, I'll just say a little bit, which is then it jumps forward to modern time and follows this same bar, and that's where like a lot of the story takes place, and there's a lot of interesting characters and kind of the intrigue of.
And were you interested? Did it inspire you by a particular bar?
I just think I pulled bits and pieces. I bartended at Tosi's when I was like 16. And then I bartended all the way through college, to kind of.
Or at other.
No, I bartended at Tosi's in high school and then in summers. And then at school, I bartended at a couple of bars at school. So they say write what you know, and I spent a lot of time bartending, so I know a little bit about it. So that helps when you write. And
different drinks in the book.
Yeah.
Fun.
In fact, he sells he tries to basically capitalize on the rumors that he's immortal, And so he sells a drink called the Everlasting Wall Banger. He starts up a rumor that if you drink it, it makes you live longer. Charges a bunch of money.
I'm so excited. My friend Rob Morocco asked, "Is Kevin's preference digital sales or hard copy? My daughter loves hard copy, but hard copy now, but was a big digital user one time."
Well, I as a reader, I personally prefer hard copy. Well, paperbacks, I think, are my favorite. I like paperbacks. I do occasionally read on ebooks, but I personally prefer hardbound. For as an author, I don't know. I like to have. I think I prefer to have my physical book out there, because then you get to see the cover design and see it, touch it, feel it. But I would say 80% of my sales are ebook.
Really?
Yeah, and unfortunately, mostly Amazon, which I don't know. My only issue with Amazon is just that they don't necessarily treat their workers great, and they're kind of partly at least, are responsible for the downfall of the small downtown areas across the country. So I'd rather support indie bookstores and physical bookstores, and I do when I can. But the reality is the reality. Most of I do sell my books on Kobo, which is it's big in like Japan or not Japan. It's big in Canada and the UK. It's kind of the big online ebook seller in Canada and the UK, and I also sell it on Barnes and Noble, that does the Nook. If you're a Nook, so which is like Kindle but Barnes and Noble. And then Apple also. Apple has an ebook process and sell it on that. But most of my sales, 75%, are U.S. Kindle sales.
Interesting.
It's just that's where, and I think if you looked at the total sales of all books these days, most of them would be Amazon Kindle.
Julie says, "I love actual books, especially ones signed by this author."
Thank you, Julie. That's very nice.
Big fan. You have a lot of fans here.
Oh, that's nice.
From especially when you supported us. Thank you so much. And
that was fun. That was
really a huge gift. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was
awesome. What time is your salon appointment?
I haven't made it yet.
Oh.
I'm gonna try and get a walk-in, then shower, and then to the haircut. So.
All right. Well, take care, and I hope your wife is feeling much better. And
she is already.
I have a hangover. When I have one after like 2 days, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel like I remember feeling pre-migraine.
Yeah, I used to get them when I was younger. Luckily, I somehow outgrew them, but they're awful. I mean, I could have no light. I had to be in a dark room. They're brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. So I have compassion, but I'm, knock on wood, I haven't had them in many, many years.
I'm not going to knock really loud, because when I knock, Lillian thinks somebody's at the door.
She'll start barking.
Oh yeah, she would in a second. And she's sunning at the moment in the front wing of the house. So. Well, thanks for popping on.
Oh, anytime.
Okay.
Anytime.
Well, keep us posted on the book.
Okay.
And when you're ready, send it out to Julie and I. We'd love to read it.
Okay.
When it's out, come back and read. And
maybe after the developmental edit. It's kind of, I don't know. I'm a little self-conscious about sharing it too much before it gets a little bit further, maybe.
All right. Well, have a good day. And as Julie said, and hug the pups. Hug the family and the pups. Are they gone?
Pups are gone. Yeah.
I thought so. That's why I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah. Sorry, Julie. Yeah, we miss them. Such great girls.
Yeah.
been a
I'll
while.
hug Lillian for you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll hug from you, from Kevin. Lil, you
All
get
right.
a hug from Kevin. And Julie, I think. All right, man. Well, thank you so much. Kevin Kuhn, everybody.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. That's what 1111 is all about. Yeah, I was like, don't say it. And then I thought, no, I don't want Julie to not think I didn't read your comment. And anyway, yeah, book signings are fun. It's like a CD release party. And the same thing with CDs. I noticed, I think I told you the other day that I found a CD of, a friend said they found a CD that I'm on Amazon for $777.77. There are also CDs on Amazon for $70, $50 of mine. And I'm like, why aren't I selling them on Amazon? Because I don't know how to do it. But I should start selling my CDs for $73. Oh, $74.47. I think that's what I'll sell them for. Maybe a couple of them, $47.74. Do you get it? Come on, kids. All right. I am going to get my girl, go downstairs, hang with Mama Grace, get a little food happening, and go for a walk. Tonight, meditation, and thanks for being here. Thank you. I love it when you guys all hang out on. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, William. Thanks, Kevin, Rob Morocco, Patty, Mama Grace. Happy Monday. Have a great one. Stay safe, stay healthy, be nice, and kaleidoscope thoughts. Killing words. And cool heart. See you in a bit, Mama Grace. Thank you. Love hard. Really hard.